Pollution. Pollution is the introduction of contaminants into the natural environment that cause adverse change. Pollutants, the components of pollution, can be either foreign substances, energies, or naturally occurring contaminants. While a pollutant is a substance, chemical, or factor that on release to environment has a bad effect on human interests. Air pollution is the occurrence of foreign particles or gases in the atmosphere which are harmful to man, vegetation, animals, and buildings. The air pollution is caused mainly due to combustion of fossil fuels. The fossil fuels like coal and petroleum contain small amounts of nitrogen and sulfur. Not only is the inhalation of these gases dangerous, they also dissolve in rain to give rise to acid rain. Combustion of fossil fuels increases the amount of suspended particles in air. Presence of high levels of all these pollutants cause poor visibility, especially in cold weather when water also condenses out of air. This is known as smog and is a visible indication of air pollution. Effects of air pollution. Dear students, air pollution is the introduction of chemicals, particulates, or biological materials into the atmosphere that cause discomfort, disease, or death to humans, damage other living organisms. The atmosphere is a complex, dynamic natural gaseous system that is essential to support life on planet Earth. The table shows the types of health effects experienced by the most common pollutants at elevated levels. Air pollution causes damage to plants and animals, affecting biodiversity and crop yields. Acid rain. Dear students, acid rain is a rain that is unusually acidic, meaning that it possesses elevated levels of hydrogen ions. It has harmful effects on plants, aquatic animals, and infrastructure. Emission of sulfur oxides and oxides of nitrogen from power stations, smelters, factories, automobile exhausts, etc. go up and react with rainwater in the atmosphere and cause the formation of sulfuric and nitric acids in rain clouds. If the rain falls through polluted air, it picks up more of these gases and increases its acidity, that is, pH lower than normal. This is called acid rain. Effects of acid rain. Damage to plants and animals, damage to soil, damage to aquatic life, damage to heritage life, damage to metals, damage to chemical balance in soil. Depletion of ozone. Dear students, the ozone layer is a belt of naturally occurring ozone gas that sits 9.3 to 18.6 miles, 15 to 30 kilometers above Earth and serves as a shield from the harmful ultraviolet B radiation emitted by the sun. Oxygen is normally found in the form of a biatomic molecule. However, in the upper reaches of the atmosphere, a molecule containing 3 atoms of oxygen is found. This is called ozone and its formula is O3. Unlike the normal diatomic molecule of oxygen, ozone is poisonous and we are lucky that it is not stable nearer to the Earth's surface. Ozone performs an essential function where it is found. It absorbs harmful radiations from the sun. Recently, it was discovered that this ozone layer was getting depleted. Various man-made compounds like CFCs were found to persist in the atmosphere. Once they reached the ozone layer, they would react with the ozone molecules. Global warming, greenhouse effect. Dear students, the greenhouse effect is a process by which thermal radiation from a planetary surface is absorbed by atmospheric greenhouse gases and is re-radiated in all directions. Global warming is the rise in the average temperature of Earth's atmosphere. The greenhouse effect is a process by which thermal radiation from a planetary surface is absorbed by atmospheric greenhouse gases and is re-radiated in all directions. The temperature there is higher than it would be if direct heating by solar radiation were the only warming mechanism. An increase in the carbon dioxide content in the atmosphere would cause more heat to be retained by the atmosphere and lead to global warming. Global warming results in rise in sea level, increase in global temperature. It also affects agriculture adversely. Increases chances of hurricanes, cyclones and floods. Increase in temperature and humidity may cause increase in disease. Smog. Dear students, smog is fog that has become mixed and polluted with smoke. It can be considered as form of air pollution produced by the photochemical reaction of sunlight with hydrocarbons and nitrogen oxides that have been released into atmosphere, especially by automotive emissions. Smog is a mixture of smoke and fog, but the term is now extended to include other sorts of atmospheric pollution. Smog arises from many sources including factories, steelworks, oil refineries, chemical plants, and of course, the ubiquitous motor car. Its ingredients include carbon monoxide, sulfur and nitrogen oxides, lead, and various hydrocarbons. Harmful effects of water pollution. Dear students, water pollution is the contamination of water bodies. Water pollution affects plants and organisms living in these bodies of water. Do you know that water pollution is the addition of some substances which degrades the quality of water so that either it becomes health or unfit for use? The fertilizers and pesticides that we use on our farms are dissolved in water, so some percent of these substances are washed into the water bodies. Sewage from our towns and cities and the waste from factories are also dumped into rivers or lakes. The temperature of the water in rivers can be affected is when water is released from dams. Water pollution causes following effects: the addition of undesirable substances to water bodies. These could also be disease-causing organisms like the bacteria which cause cholera. The removal of desirable substances from water bodies. A change in temperature. The eggs and larvae of various animals are particularly susceptible to temperature changes. Eutrophication. Dear students, eutrophication is the ecosystem response to the addiction of artificial or natural substances such as nitrates and phosphates through fertilizers or sewage to an aquatic system. One example is the bloom or great increase of phytoplankton in a water body as a response to increased levels of nutrients. The addition of inorganic compounds and decomposition of organic wastes in water bodies increase the nutrient content of water. It causes rapid growth of algae, especially the blue-green algae, and may totally cover the water surface. This type of algal growth is called algal bloom. Aquatic animals may also die due to toxicity or lack of oxygen. Harmful effect of soil pollution. Soil contamination or soil pollution is caused by the presence of human-made chemicals or other alteration in the natural soil environment. The most common chemicals involved are petroleum hydrocarbons, pesticides, lead, and other heavy metals. Soil pollution is defined or can be described as the contamination of soil of a particular region. Decrease in soil fertility and therefore decrease in soil yield. Loss of soil and natural nutrients present in it. Plants also would not thrive in such soil, which would further result in soil erosion. Disturbance in the balance of flora and fauna residing in the soil. Increase in salinity of the soil, which therefore makes it unfit for vegetation, thus making it useless and barren. Generally, crops cannot grow and flourish in polluted soil. If some crops manage to grow, they would be poisonous enough to cause serious health problems in people consuming them. Biochemical cycle. Dear students, biogeochemical cycle is a pathway by which a chemical element or molecule moves through both biotic and abiotic compartments of Earth. It tells us that biological, geological, and chemical factors are all involved. Biogeochemical cycles are the cyclic pathways through which chemical elements move from environment to organisms and back to the environment. Biogeochemical cycles are essential because the Earth and its environment with reference to these elements are called closed system. And there is no inflow of such elements from outside the Earth. There are mainly two types of biogeochemical cycles: gaseous cycles, sedimentary cycles. The water cycle. Dear students, water occupies a very large area of the Earth's surface and is also found underground. Some amounts of water exists in the form of water vapor in the atmosphere. 97% of the water on Earth's surface is found in seas and oceans and is saline. We know the water evaporates from the water bodies and subsequent condensation of this water vapor leads to rain. But even after this continuous condensation process, we don't see the seas and oceans drying up. All of the water that falls on the land does not immediately flow back into the sea. Some of it seeps into the soil and becomes part of the underground reservoir of fresh water. Some of this underground water finds its way to the surface through springs, or we bring it to the surface for our use through wells or tube wells. Water is also used by terrestrial animals and plants for various life processes. Nitrogen cycle. Dear students, nitrogen is a chemical element with symbol N. Elemental nitrogen is a colorless, odorless, tasteless, and mostly inert diatomic gas at standard conditions. Nitrogen is an essential macronutrient needed by all plants to thrive. It is an important component of many structural, genetic, and metabolic compounds in plant cells. Nitrogen gas makes up 78% of our atmosphere, and nitrogen is also a part of many molecules essential to life, like proteins, nucleic acids, DNA and RNA, and some vitamins. Nitrogen is an essential nutrient for all life forms. However, except a few forms of bacteria, Life forms are not able to convert the nitrogen molecule into forms like nitrates and nitrites, which can be taken up and used to make the required molecules. Other than these bacteria, the only other manner in which the nitrogen molecule is converted to nitrates and nitrites is by lightning.